Hi, and welcome back to Art with Mo. I'm Monique, and I am on a journey to get better at art, whether that is with markers, pencil sketches, paint, or digital art. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to keep on watching. On this sketchbook spread, I will be using the Ohuhu alcohol markers. I've used these before, and I find that using familiar supplies helps cut out some of the guesswork when trying to use a new art supply. Plus, these markers are amazing. They blend so well with the brush tip and they are very juicy and vibrant. To save some time, I did already sketch out all the fruit, which helped me jump right into picking colors for the grapes. Before I start picking colors, though, I wanted to protect the page underneath these sketches. The sketchbook that I'm using is Artist Loft and it is an actual marker paper, but I love that the paper doesn't peel when I layer the markers. Today, I wanted to take a little break from drawing faces by drawing some fruit. It has been a long time since I have used alcohol markers, and I thought coloring fruit would be a great idea. I got all of my references from unsplash.com. They have a lot of free photos that are available to creatives. These sketches are in graphite, so I always lighten the sketch a little bit. When I first started coloring with markers, I didn't lighten the drawings at first, and the markers and graphite would blend or smudge together, and it made the artwork look awful. Okay, the sketch is lightened, and I can get started with coloring. I like to start with the lightest colors first and then move on to a darker shade. I then go back to the lighter shade and blend the darker shade in. After the first grape, I did the same thing with all the other grapes to try and get the grapes to look similar to the photo. When I picked this photo of grapes, I really liked how there were different shades of green, red, and yellow. I thought about adding in the leaves as well, but I just want to focus on the grapes. If I happen to make these grapes into a print or sticker, I think adding in the leaves will add more interest into the piece. For now, though, since the sketchbook page is full of fruit that need to be colored, I'm going to leave the grapes without the leaves. To be honest, I thought the grapes were going to be easier to color in because at first I only saw two shades of green, two shades of yellow, and three shades of red. As I continued to color the grapes in, I realized that I needed to go in deeper with my shadows to help create the depth that I was looking for. So I grabbed my colored pencils to help darken some areas of the grapes as well as add in a few more highlights. The grapes are done. Let me know what you think. Do you like to use markers as well? If so, what do you like to color? And if not, what is your favorite fruit? Mine is probably a tie between grapes and mangoes. Next is the cherries. I lightened the sketch, then picked the colors that I thought I saw in the photo and got to coloring. For the cherries, I wanted to make sure that I blocked out the highlights because they were so bright. For these cherries, I also thought that I was going to have a limited color palette, but I was wrong again. At first, I saw just a lot of shades of red, but the longer I looked at the reference, the more I saw purple throughout the cherries. The purple helped add a lot more dimension to the cherries' darkest shadows. I had to make sure that I blended out the shadows with the lighter part of the cherry so that the cherries look like one form. So far, I really like how these cherries came out. I was able to get them the form that I was looking for, and that was really my end goal with all the fruits on this page. I really wanted them to pop off. This raspberry took me the absolute longest to color in. Why didn't I just color in the whole thing with the light red, then add in the shadows, you might ask? Well, my sketch was too light for me to see underneath the red, so I had to do one little bead of raspberry at a time. Even though this raspberry took the longest, it continued to teach me to not rush the process, because in the end, it will all be worth it. For this raspberry, I used four different shades of red and just alternated between the four colors depending on how light or dark the beads were. Am I saying the right term? You guys know what I'm talking about when I say beads, right? Like the little ball that creates the raspberry itself. I don't know if that's the right term, but I hope you understand what I'm talking about. The leaves for this raspberry were straight and to the point. I only used 2 shades of green, not including the colored pencils. Using the colored pencils were so nice because I could go back and put in a little bit more detail that I couldn't get with the markers. The colored pencils also helped add in a little more depth in the places that needed it most. When I started this sliced orange, I was ready to color and I had a good technique down from the previous fruits. Coloring in this orange was definitely one of the fastest fruits to color in because there wasn't a lot going on in the photo and I didn't have to use too many colors either. That was a quick one. Let's move on to the strawberries. But before we get into that, how satisfying do you think it is to use a new kneaded eraser? It has been years since I bought a new one, and it is just so nice to be able to stretch out the eraser and play with it like putty. My oldest loves to make sculptures out of it. Anyways, back to the strawberry. At first, I wanted to draw all the little seeds around each strawberry. So I did. I realized after I had spent the time adding the seeds that it would be easier to just color over the whole strawberry than add in the seeds later. Hopefully, the next time I draw strawberries, I remember to just color in the whole strawberry first and save a little time. Even though I had to kind of redo everything, the strawberries were easy to get the form right with the colors that I used. Not sure if I have said this before, but I love to add shadows to an object. It brings the shape that has been missing and the highlights just add that extra touch. If you color, what is your favorite part of the process? There was more of this video, but I didn't want it to be too long for you guys, so there will be a part two. I hope that you were able to hang out with me and doodle, work on some house stuff, or just having the video on in the background. There's an art comeback series if you would like to watch that or catch up on some other videos while we wait for part two of this fruit video to come out in a couple of weeks. Thank you for watching the video. Stay creative, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.